bitch, I'm in the...
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian. With me always, that handsome devil right there.
I'm Mark.
That's right. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Perfect.
Today's just been one of those days. I got a freaking, I don't even know what it was in my tire in the sidewall of my truck. Yeah, I'm like, wow, it's about this long. It looks like a brake handle.
You ran something out. You ran a kid over on his bicycle. What the hell?
No, I didn't do that.
That we know.
I have no idea where I got it at. I just happened to see it. I was getting ready to go somewhere and
bicycle.
Shh, don't tell nobody. Damn.
Well, Mark, tonight we got a special guest that you've been working with a talent agent, and that talent agent reached back out to you and said, "Hey, I want you to have some of my actors and actresses on."
Yes. Before we do that, one of her, I think one of her talent agents or one of her actresses, I'm not 100% sure. I'm just going to give a clue out on, for our last show of the season. She will be on. I could say she's been on before, or she hasn't been on at all. She could be in a movie that we've seen a previews to a couple months ago, or she just might be just something new. I mean,
you're just gonna leave people dangling on that carrot, aren't you?
Yes. If they want to know, they'll have to tune in next Thursday.
And then you're gonna release who's going to be on the show.
Yeah, or I might release it Sunday. Either which way, they got to see it live.
Oh, perfect.
Actually, yes, I was reached out a couple months ago, and she had asked me about having some of her talent on the show, and I was like, I about crap myself. I'm going to be nice by saying it, and I was like, oh, this is cool. We're getting up there. But the biggest thing is I don't really want to mess up his last name. So I'm going to say his first name is Jack. I want to say Berner, but I'm going to bet you it's wrong. So let's see.
You're right.
Woohoo! I did one right.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Mark always gets the names wrong. And I thought I was doing really good. A couple of weeks ago, we had Anthony Caimano on, and I kept calling him Anthony Ciamano. Definitely wrong. I've been calling him that the whole time, and I felt terrible. So I told
you said it last year too. I mean, we had him on before.
Jack, you get to butcher his name because I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, so I just said Anthony and his wife, and we just brought him on.
If I had my legal name on there, you guys would probably not be able to pronounce it because it's a Ukrainian name. Very, very difficult.
I saw it in the email. And how do you pronounce it?
Yevgeny.
Yes, I would never.
Yevgeny. Yeah. So I was told, you know what? Go by Jack. That's my attorney name. My day job is a trial attorney, so I've been going by Jack. Gosh, since I was in my mid to late teens and tired of correcting people on my name, I just basically came up with Jack as it's kind of a translation from my Ukrainian nickname, and that's been working for me.
Hey, Brian, our first lawyer.
Yes, Mark said at one point we're going to get everybody on the show. We're going to have lawyers, actors, actresses, musicians, magicians. We have a lawyer.
Well, you have a twofer, lawyer and yeah.
You're not a triple threat. Wait a minute. You're not a triple threat. You're not a comedian, or
can you sing?
I'm a producer. Does that count? I do sing.
Yeah, I like it. He's a producer. Triple threat.
Yeah, I ain't triple threat there, or quadruple threat, whichever way. Oh.
So
anyway,
what is your true love then? Is it acting, or is it being a lawyer?
Well, I mean, I think someone once said that, to be a good lawyer, you have to be a good actor. I don't think the opposite is true. I don't think to be, a good actor, you have to be a good lawyer. But there's definitely drama in being a trial attorney. You're when you go to trial, you're kind of the star, you're the writer, you're the director, you're the producer. So that was a really, really good foundation for me to get into the entertainment business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do criminal cases, or what do you do exactly as far as that?
Yeah, we've done some criminal cases, but our bread and butter is family law, like really the nasty stuff that no one wants to touch.
Mm-hmm.
So, divorces, child custody, domestic violence, everything that would keep a normal person up at night, and we have at any given time between 70 and 100 such cases. So, it's an acquired taste, but if you're good at it, you stick with it. And we have a good reputation in our county and statewide and nationally. And I didn't get into acting to replace it, but merely to supplement it.
Okay. So lines, because I'm sure those law books that are behind you, you have to remember, or you have to summarize some of those statutes that you may find in those books, correct? So if you go to a trial or something like that, case law such and such.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays you don't really have to memorize case law. I mean, you can for brief presentations, but you've got it all laid out in front of you to refer to. Not so with acting. With acting, you literally have to memorize everything, and you give long-winded monologues in movies. I just did a very funny one in a movie called A Hard Place, where I was doing this personal anecdote from the director's past. He was the director, producer, and writer, and he wrote this big monologue in the movie and had me deliver it about this monkey that would attack like family members. And all of that you've got to memorize, and you've got to make it look like, you're not, I mean, you got to make it real for the audience. And so definitely acting is different than being an attorney, but being an attorney is definitely a good foundation for it, in my experience.
Very good. Very good. So how did you get into acting then? You said you did it to supplement, but how did you find your way into it? Did somebody say, hey, you go on, what is it called? Backstage?
Backstage. Yeah. So I've always had a love of acting, and I think it was inherited from my mom. She always wanted to be an actress. She looks like Sophia Loren, but actually better. And, life didn't really work out for her. Didn't go according to plan, I should say, in terms of an acting career. She was derailed with breast cancer, had it a bunch of times, had it half her life. So, having an acting career was kind of the furthest thing from her mind. Staying alive was obviously the priority. And, so I got that desire from her. I was a drama minor in college, but, we were immigrants to this country. We immigrated from the former Soviet Union. It was actually Ukraine, but before that it was Romania and Transylvania. So it's kind of a complicated story, but, it was impressed upon me that, being a first generation in this country, you have to have a profession. You have to take it seriously. We brought you here for a reason. So I became an attorney, including to, please my family and create a name for myself, and acting was too risky. So I always had this love of it. And then, my mom passed away in early December of 2022. And I told her on her deathbed that I was going to achieve her dream for her. And I've tried to make good on that. And since March of 2023, so since March of last year, I've done 16 feature films.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
So
I'm sure your mom is shining down on you going, that's my star. You know what I mean?
I hope so. Being an actor is good. Being a good person is even better. So I think you got to do both to win mom's approval, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you're in a film. We didn't get this clip, did we? We didn't get the any kind of synopsis or anything from it, but the vampire premise.
I think is that what it's called?
Which clip?
There was no. We don't have a clip for that one.
Oh, okay, sure. So there's a film that hasn't been filmed yet. It's slated for the production has already started. They already filmed one of the first scenes, but it's the first in a trilogy. It's called Vampire Penance: The Atonement of John Wolfe. And Penance, right? And what a unique, original storyline. It kind of puts the vampire lore on its head. Totally different twist. Goes all the way back to the crucifixion of Christ, and so there's a lot of historical meaning in the film, and just plots and twists that you've never seen in a film. And the writer and director John Rain, brilliant guy. He's been babying this script for a number of years, different incarnations of it, and he thinks he's got it this time. And I was cast as Niles, who is the lead vampire. And one of the reasons I got the role was also because of my background. John is very into authenticity, so the fact that I'm Transylvanian from their lineage, that meant something to him. And he saw something in me that when he visualized the character, he saw something in me that was consistent with that. So I'm humbled by that. And filming for my part of the film is slated to begin in the spring of next year.
Okay, so you're going to be on location. Are you going to be doing this film with your co-actors and actresses?
Yes.
Or is it going to be, okay.
It's going to be on location, and this first film is going to be filmed in Pennsylvania, and then John has ideas for the subsequent films, prequel, sequel, to be filmed in Europe, like Ireland and castles and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was first approached about the movie about having interviews with these some of the actors and actresses on that one, she was telling me about it, and I'm like, hey, it sounds interesting. And I told my wife, she was like, vampires, okay, I'm in. Let's watch. So
vampire movies, it's always been one of my favorite genres, both because of where I'm from and they're just so stylish. I'm really into style, and this movie has a lot of style. It has heart. It's original. I'm really excited. If you guys go on YouTube and you Google or YouTube, Vampire Penance: The Atonement of John Wolfe, you'll find that initial scene that was filmed, or part of that scene. And so you'll kind of get a flavor for what the movie is like. Even from that first beginning with the crucifixion of Christ, it's pretty amazing.
Now, Mark does have another clip, though. He does have a clip.
But not from that movie. It's from a different movie.
From that movie. It's from another movie as well. Now, is this is already out, though, Mark? Is that right?
I don't know.
Which is it, Alien Horde?
Yeah.
Alien Horde, yes.
So Alien Horde was just filmed this past October, and usually films have an extensive, I didn't know this before I started doing films, there's an extensive post-production process. It can last up to a year or longer. So the movie is currently in post. They put out the sizzle reel to get folks excited about it. And even just the sizzle reel is, it's pretty amazing. But I think the movie is going to be in post for several months in 2025. Hopefully it'll come out maybe at the end of 2025. But that's typically the cycle for these films, is post-production, then distribution deals, and then it goes out into the world, whether, movie runs or directly to VOD or both, or film festivals. That's up to the producers.
Now these aren't considered like fan films or anything like that, right?
No, this is not a fan film, but it definitely has an element of Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's I think that the sizzle reel just came out the other day, and the director was commenting on that it's got an element of Guardians. If you want to compare it to something, you compare it to Guardians, like a Guardians of the Galaxy type movie, but totally unique plot and unique characters, but kind of that feel. It's up to this band of ragtag, soldiers to kind of basically save the galaxy.
Mark has the film.
No, I have the clip.
You got the clip.
Yeah.
No, he's already got the whole film. He's got the whole thing.
Yeah, I got the whole.
Nobody else has it.
Well, send me a copy.
You had the whole thing.
Oh, he's the one that sent me this, so we'll see. So I'm going to play the clip right now for it.
Inhabitants of the neutral zone, we now hold the power to destroy your capital planets and your suns. Surrender now, or the blood of 1,000 planets will spill.
Remember Nova?
I do.
I need you to find him.
He's our best shot at putting together a team that can track down the Reapers.
What'll it be?
I'm looking for Nova.
Poor pretty boy.
You gotta pay your taxes.
How much? The Reapers breached the neutral zone. We're putting together a team to stop them.
I'm in.
What's up?
Reapers.
Party.
We getting the band back together or what? Where's Nova?
Thought you were done with the war.
If we fail, that's it. It's over for everyone.
Here we go!
I know that, though. You don't think you're coming home.
Keep your eyes on the prize.
Let's go. Nova here. We've got your back.
So let's talk about your character in this, and does this film, is it considered all sci-fi, or is there going to be like some comedy? It seemed like there was going to be some comedy in there.
Well, so that's kind of where the comparison to Guardians of the Galaxy is apt, because there's action, there's definitely sci-fi as you saw, and then there's comedy. And I'm kind of the smart ass of the group, or at least that's how it turned out. I got to have a lot of liberties with my lines, and I got to do improv, and I got to see kind of how Ryan Reynolds would do it with his films. And what makes those scenes so memorable is sometimes the rest of the actors don't even know what's coming. You just kind of hit them spontaneously with improv. And this director, Brandon Slagle, really, really good director. First time I've worked with him, but he's a veteran. I think he's done 23. I think he has 23 director credits or something like that, 26 director credits. But he allowed me the freedom to really develop my character from a two-dimensional character on a page to just a totally unique looking, it was a lot of fun because we had that freedom to maneuver. And I've never experienced that in a film before, quite like that. So it's got all those elements. It's got comedy, it's got adventure, it's sci-fi. So it's got romance. I mean, it appeals to a lot of different genres.
What's your character's name in Alien Horde?
My character's name is Torin, no last name.
Torin. Is Torin considered one of the main characters though, or is there an actual? He's one of the main characters. We've got some real, big name stars in this film. Andrew Divoff of Wishmaster and Another 48 Hours fame. We've got Vernon Wells, who's like the consummate baddie in a lot of 80s films like Road Warrior and Commando. We've got James Duvall. We've got who else is in this film? There's just so many folks. Robert Lasardo. Yeah, we got. You know who Robert Lasardo is?
Yes, he's one of those guys that I want to get on this show because I've watched him in a lot of different things, and it's like wow.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
He's got a very unique presence. Trademark that presence. We've got John Wells, who is indie films action darling, and a friend and mentor of mine. So lots of really, really good talent. No amateur hour here.
Yeah, John Wells. We watched him in a movie. We got to see the movie before it came out.
The Screener?
Huh?
Which one? The Screener?
Yeah, the screener. If I'm not mistaken, he was in the Unnatural.
Okay. Yeah, he's so prolific and he's so in demand. And I was so glad that he was doing this film. We'd done a film together before called Cursed Waters for the same production company. That was a pirate horror action movie. And that was filmed last summer. So hopefully that'll come out for the first half of 2025.
So you're ready for these things to come out. Hopefully they hit the screen first. I'd like to see the stuff up on the big screen. A lot of people don't like going to movies anymore.
I love to.
I still want the stuff to hit the movie theaters first before it comes to like Prime and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I like
going to the movie theater. I just don't like paying their prices for popcorn and crap.
Yeah. It's primarily, I think, the big budget studio films that have a theatrical run. In indie film land, it's more for credibility and promotion, I think. I think the real money is made in the the different streaming platforms that it's released on for the smaller films. And even for the big budget films, but more so for the smaller films.
Really cool. Out of all the stuff that you've been in so far, that you've acted in and stuff like that, do you have a particular role that you would want to be a part of over and over again? Like, do you have a genre, like a horror genre that you're in, that something like that?
Alien Horde was probably the most physically demanding film that I've ever done. And the film that I did the most improv on, including comedy, which is not. I mean, I think I'm a wise ass, but I've never done that on film and quite to this degree. So I like the physical demands. I like being drawn to tears for a particularly emotional scene. I like being comic relief. So I couldn't get enough of this film. I was sad when the movie ended, when my role ended. So I don't think there will be a sequel. At least I won't be in it. But gosh, if there was a prequel, I would love to be part of that.
Yeah, he just told us what happened to his character.
He didn't say anything. He moved away to another planet, bruh. Calm down.
Oh, okay.
Married with children now.
Yeah, is that how it works? Move away after you get married and have kids? Yeah, sounds about right.
I guess what I'm saying is I really like this team. I like this director who primarily directs in Asian countries and hadn't done an American film in a while, so really in demand. This production company, Mahal, Mahal Empire, they're very prolific. I think they just completed their, gosh, I don't even want to get it wrong, but 18th or 19th feature film in the last handful of years. I mean, and they put out quality. Like as you saw just from the sizzle reel from just a month and a half after filming, it's quality. I mean, you couldn't distinguish it from a big budget Hollywood film, at least. I mean, I saw that sizzle reel and I was in the film and I got, chills. It was like spine tingling. So,
well, when I was looking on your IMDb page, and I seen that 5 minute, I think it was about 5 minute reel going across from several different movies. I was like, I told Brian, I was like, dude, this guy's, he's a great actor. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what else he does. And, there was only like 3-4 movie parts in it. So
there were three. Yeah, there were. It was bits from 3 films, which were my earliest films. Like, this is what's funny is like I've done 16 films, but I only started last year. So there's definitely been a learning curve. Yes, you can be a good actor, but film acting is an entirely different animal than theater acting. It's all about perfecting the take and being in the right position, and it's about camera angles, and it's totally different than anything I'd done before. So mastering that, I think I did that pretty quickly. But yeah, it's my earliest work. My later work, I think you'd be even more impressed with. And then the last bit was a monologue that I recorded in my office here in my office building. It was a monologue from Glenn Ross, which I particularly enjoy. So, yeah.
I was going to ask you, how do you find the time to do acting, to be an actor as well as study law?
Well, I'm not a sole practitioner. I've been doing this it's crazy to think, but I've been doing this I've been an attorney for 25 years, and I've been in the legal field for 32 years. And I don't know if I look it or not. I'll leave it up to you guys. But I have an office. I have, support staff. I have an associate attorney. We work as a group. Lots of lawyers, when they've been in the business as long as I have, they just take extended vacations. Well, I would rather do something, vacations are important, but I would rather do something, just as productive, such as, be in a film. And there's flexibility with litigation. You can, if it's known about in advance, you could plan around it. So, you just issue, your notice of unavailability when you're available, when you're not available. And I'm able to work remotely. I take my laptop on location. We live in a Zoom world now, as you can see. So you're not limited by where you are. It does. Obviously, it takes sacrifice. Especially if you have a family. There's definitely a sacrifice. You have to have an understanding, loving family. You have to be efficient with your time. Obviously you have to learn lines before you ever get on set. So that takes a lot of discipline and it takes time. So, in my case, it's a combination of factors that allow me to do both jobs.
It's got to be a lot, because not only are you learning lines for a film, but you're learning cases that you're working out on and stuff like that. So you get on set one day and something crosses your mind. And you're like, wait a minute, I got to do something with this case real quick. And then you got to make phone calls. Does that ever happen where you get to a point where you're like, oh, I got to take a minute.
Well, sure. Like, I could be on set and my paralegal will call me and say, hey, I have a question about this. Or, my associate attorney will call me, or my office manager will call me. So, it's because you're able to have those kinds of conversations. You're able to connect via Zoom, by phone. It's doable. You have to be super efficient, but it is definitely doable.
Gotcha.
In the world we live in, come on. Huh?
What's that?
I said, you're married. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Does your wife travel with you? Go to shoots?
She's actually been in some of my films.
Wow.
We did a film called Best Supporting Actors. That was last April or May of 2023. That was filmed in West Virginia. It was with a production company called JC Films. I'm a co-producer of that. And not only was my wife in the film, but my 3 daughters were also in the film. It was a really, really cool story. It stars Eddie McClintock from Warehouse 13 fame, and he was in Shooter. I don't know if you guys know him. Really prolific actor. He's been in a bunch of faith-based films lately, affiliated with JC Films. Just an amazing actor. And this movie is basically about this down on his luck alcoholic, kind of has-been actor who tries to find redemption, teaching a bunch of troubled youth in his hometown in Ohio. And there's like a really interesting plot twist, which I'm not going to give away. But just an excellent performance. The movie's currently in quality control with Amazon, and then it's going to be released on video. We haven't had a premiere yet. So yeah, we were all in that film, and my wife actually played Eddie McClintock's love interest. So that was quite interesting. My kids all got to see what it was like being on set. And, my wife was in another film with me that was filmed in Vegas, which is an amazing film called Infernal. totally different from anything I've ever done. Written and directed by a cool guy named Eric Mathis. And she got, there was a scene where I was being a fool and with these other women, and she like slapped me really hard. I'm all about realism, and so she slapped me so hard it almost knocked the wind out of me. And I never caught it. Like, yeah, I'm like, wail on me, and she did, and everyone could hear it, and it was great. I mean, how interesting is that, getting slapped by your wife? You know, in a scene for a movie. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
My wife would have loved to do that to me. I mean,
they're gonna be like, make them bleed.
Yeah, no, she definitely has the acting bug, and she is also going to be in Vampire Penance. She's going to be a vampire hunter, so the exact opposite of me. So so stay tuned for that.
So she might be able to kill you on scene or in the movie then.
I don't think that's going to happen, but but I'm not at liberty to say. I'm not at liberty to say at this time.
She might not make it throughout the film.
I have no idea.
We don't know that either.
Honestly, I have no idea. It's in the brilliant mind of our writer director John Rain. So, you know, he will decree what he will decree.
Now, you played good guys and bad guys, right?
Yeah.
What do you like playing better?
Bad guys.
Easier?
Well, you know what? With Alien Horde, I played a good guy, but
just trying to think of how to say it without giving it away.
Well, he's a good guy, maybe a little bit ethically or morally challenged. So I don't know if you would consider him still a good guy, but yeah, I've played a lot of. What's that?
Rough around the edges.
I think rough around the edges is a good way to describe him, but I would say still a good guy, a hero. And I played a lot of bad guys, and I think my appearance kind of, I don't know. I think my appearance is more conducive perhaps to playing a bad guy, you know, with the, you know, goatee and the sideburns and the, you know, the crazy hair. I guess it can go both ways. Yeah, those are some. There you go. I like both, but it's just easier to play a bad guy. There's more freedom in it.
Oh, we've heard that a lot.
Bad guys don't always get the girls, though. Isn't that what you want? You want to get the girl in the movie.
Well, at some point they get the girl. They may lose the girl.
Normally they have the girl and then they lose her.
Yeah. Right.
To the good guy.
So I kind of like the idea of a redemptive bad guy. You know, starts off as a bad guy, turns into a good guy. I think that might be my ideal role to play, because you get both.
Your agent. How did you find your agent?
Well, I have an agent and I have a manager. Are you guys talking about Alexi, who set this up?
Yeah.
So Alexi is very well known in our community. She's got a very well known and popular Facebook group. She's been a manager for a while. So she's really plugged in. The way I met her was she was a producer on a film that I did. I had a very, very small role, literally a 1 or 2 line role as a police officer in a local production. It was filmed here. I live in Everett, Washington, which is a suburb of Seattle. We're about 30 minutes north of Seattle. And there was a movie being filmed literally a couple blocks away. And my real estate agent friend, they were filming in his real estate office, but he's got this amazing atrium, this 2-story, you know, kind of atrium, where it kind of looked like a police station. And so he, as a sign of friendship, because I, you know, it was kind of a little bit of quid pro quo, but as a friendly act, he kind of conditioned the use of his facilities with getting me in the film. He knew I was interested in launching a movie career. So fine, they gave some charity. They gave me a two line role. And I guess they so liked my performance that they gave me my very own standalone scene, in a different city. It was at night. The whole production crew was there for me. She was there. She liked my performance. And so that's how we got to know each other. So we'd been communicating since then, and signed me up as one of her clients. And then I subsequently signed with a talent agency called Big Fish Northwest, which is separate from Alexi.
Okay.
Yeah, I met her, going through Jason Brooks, Sanaya Lutis, Sean Lutis. I met her through them.
Yeah, Sanaya Lutis was actually in the film that I was in. It was called Finding Estrella. So she was an actress in that film. And I
believe it or not, I have watched that. I have watched that movie. And I knew I was like, wait a minute, I know I've seen you in a movie before. And when you said that, because I was going to ask you what the movie was, but you gave it. So I was like, I've seen that movie. But
I got one for you. They tell you got to shave your whole facial hair to be in the next film. Are you doing it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
You're doing it? Really?
Well, if they,
I mean, look at it. Look. He shaved parts of it.
No. The whole thing. He has to shave the whole face to be in the next film.
I think to be a versatile actor and to curry favor with casting directors and directors and producers, I think you got to be flexible. I definitely have a go-to look. Like, I like this look. I think facial hair looks good, as do you guys. But to be a serious actor, you can't limit yourself like that, and you certainly can't limit folks who have different ideas for your character, and I won't.
Well, I would just think that you have that look, and you do that for a reason.
You mean like a trademark?
Yeah, it's a trademark kind of thing. It's like if I shave the beard. Listen, I'm telling you right now, if I shave my face and I take this hat off, I am Uncle Fester. That's it.
I think it depends. It depends on the role. I mean, I would have an easier time shaving my facial hair than I would have shaving my head. If I'm going to shave my head, it's going to be for a pretty darn good role. I'm not just going to do that for anybody, because I got to live with that after production for the next half year, or longer, a year. So it depends. This is inconsequential. This is way more consequential.
I don't know. I need this. I didn't need this, so I got rid of it. So yep, it can go.
That's because you were losing your hair anyways.
Hey, it can go. I don't need it.
Yeah, he was trying to convince me to do it. I'm like, no. Okay. Then I made a bet with him, but we never got.
Try it. Good,
but we never got that many people on there. We got close to the 1,000 mark, but that was about it. We needed 1,200 people to join our group, and we only got 750.
Yeah, Mark said he would do it if we had a certain amount of people join. I was like, oh boy.
Right.
All right. We're just over our halfway mark of the show. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. I have to grab something to drink. I'm thirsty, and we're gonna play some music for you guys.
We're going to play a band that's going to be on our show next Thursday. And that's, they're called Inside the Trojan Horse. And the song is called How They Run.
We'll be right back, guys. That is brand new music from inside the Trojan Horse. Due on the show next Thursday, right here on Talking Shit, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, as usual. And now we have more questions.
I really like that band, by the way. It was like a cross between U2 and like grunge. It was really good.
Yeah.
It's not terrible, right? Like they've got some really great songs. I'm a fan of that song. I'm a bigger fan of their other music too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've gotten an opportunity to meet one of the band members in person. They've actually been a part of a couple of other larger bands that we're going to talk about. And he has even written a song for a band maybe you've heard of called Filter.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? So when I say grunge, that's what I was thinking of. Filter.
Yeah.
They definitely have that sound. Yeah.
So yeah, you got to tune in and check it out next Thursday.
All right.
See what you think about the show. I think they're going to be. I don't know if we'll get to meet them as far as the real people go, or if they're going to remain hidden from public. We'll find out more.
Quite honestly, I think I would like them to stay covered so that they could have their, it looks more interesting, but that's up to them.
All right. So we're back with Jack, and I'm gonna let Mark do it. Mark, what's Jack's last name?
Berner. That's right.
Berner.
And we are talking about films. We are talking a little bit about some law, right? And we're just shooting the shit with Jack. I did want to ask you, outside of the acting, outside of being a lawyer, what do you do to have fun? What do you do to relieve stress? What do you do? Is it just family?
Yeah, I mean, working out is really important, especially just from the stress of my day job. If I didn't have that outlet, I don't know what I would do. So working out is important. Having things to look forward to is important. Like I love traveling. In addition to pursuing acting, when my mom passed away, I also just realized just how short life is. I mean, I'd kind of known before, but it really, really hit me when you're on somebody's deathbed and, they're talking about things that they haven't achieved and, life could be taken from you at any time. I mean, it really forces you to, prioritize things. And so, we immediately took a once in a lifetime trip to Africa. That was a bucket list trip that most people, I think, take in their, if at all, they take in their 60s, 70s, 80s. No, we took it, with our kids at this time, while we could still, enjoy it as a family and, basically cross it off the list. So traveling is super important. Staying healthy is very important, for a good life. So, working out. I mean, there's lots of hobbies that I want to start on and take on. And one of the reasons is because I learned that there was this fight coordinator on Cursed Waters who was teaching us how to sword fight. I mean, this was one of the highlights of this whole experience. You're on set, you're in the woods, and you've got this renowned fight instructor, fight choreographer teaching you how to sword fight, using you as his fighting partner. And he basically says, when you come on set, you're bringing, the skills that you're bringing. I mean, it's who you are. You bring what you bring. And so I feel like the more you have to offer these productions in the way of practical skills, whether it's shooting, whether it's sword fighting, whether it's grappling, the production will be better. You'll be more sought after. So I'm taking that to heart in learning skills that could be marketable in film.
Since you're just starting out with acting over the past year and a half, what would you tell like any other person trying to start out, what would be your one thing you would tell them?
I'll tell you what my acting coaches have told me. You just have to do it. I mean, you can apply to different places and whatnot, but you just have to do it. I'm doing it kind of on a bigger scale because I feel like I've got to make up for lost time. I mean, having done 16 features, I feel like I could have been doing this my whole life. And I am the age that I am. And, I don't know. I basically feel like I'm making up for lost time. So I would just tell these people, just do it. Whether you're acting in a stage production or you're, doing a commercial or you're doing a student film. I mean, there's endless amounts of, work for you. I mean, you won't get paid for it, but you'll be doing it. You'll be honing your craft. And I just happened to kind of learn on the job. I mean, like I said, I was a drama minor in college. I've been a trial attorney for 25 years, which takes a big measure of acting. So I've been doing it just in a different forum, in a different way. So it was easier for me to integrate into the demands of feature films than just somebody who's just truly just starting out. But I would just say, just do it. Just. There's endless opportunities, and the more you do, the better you get. The better you get, the more people will notice. The more people notice, the more gigs you'll get. Like, I'll give you an example. I've done, among these 16 features, I've done repeat productions for certain producers who have seen my work. Like, for example, I did a movie called Irish Ashes. I did that. I've done 3 films in the UK to date, and it was for a writer producer named Chris, who is just an amazing guy, and gave me an opportunity to be in his gangster film Irish Ashes, and I just played I played a hired gun, kind of a low totem pole goon, and I did it well, and he noticed. And then my subsequent 2 films for him, I played a lead. So they give you an opportunity, you take advantage of it. Like, I was over prepared. I knew my lines better than the assistant director, and you kind of have to. I was in these productions, I was helping other actors with their lines.
Wow.
And people notice. They see you're a team player. They see that you're prepared. You're willing to fly out to the UK. Taking time away from a better paying gig like your day job, taking time away from your family. This is what I mean by sacrifice. Like, you're making a sacrifice, and they see that, and then they reward you. They reward you with more work. And Chris Sanders, again, writer, producer of the 3 films that I did, Highgate Vampire. So that was a film noir. Irish Ashes, gangster flick. Clean Right Hook, another gangster flick. I got to play a Ukrainian gangster. So when you were asking me earlier, is it fun playing, a bad guy or a good guy? I mean, I could have easily in another life been a Ukrainian gangster. So these are not difficult roles. Like, I guess I'm interested in challenging myself and stretching myself, but the roles I've done to date, there's aspects of me in all of these roles, except A Hard Place. In A Hard Place, I played this kind of slow, stoic family member who turns into a monster at night and has an Appalachian accent. So the furthest thing from myself I played in this film. This was a Jason Horton film. The premiere just happened last month. So the movie will hopefully be coming out soon, but well done film. It was a Felissa Rose film. Do you guys know Felissa Rose? She's like Scream, one of the top Scream queens there is. I think she's got like 180 credits to her name. I'm sure most of them are horror, but yeah, I mean, she's what other horror actresses aspire to, and she had a lead role in this film, carried the film, played my mom. I had kind of a cathartic experience with her because she kind of looks like my mom. Not my mom's age, but looks like my mom, and I played her son, and this was shortly after my mom's death, and I definitely had a cathartic experience with her on set, but that's for another time. But I've had life-changing experiences on these films. So going back to your original question, what would I advise people to do? I mean, life is short. Get off your butt. Start applying. Start working. Do the free stuff. Build your resume. Get a reel. That's very, very important. An actor's reel. You're not going to get a reel unless you actually do the work and you are filmed doing the work. But you could even film monologues. You could even go into your office and have, you know, your wife or another family member literally videotape you delivering a monologue, and that can go into your reel. People want to see you act. They just don't want to just hear about it. They don't want to see just a resume. They want to see what you can do. Show them.
Sure. I think that every type of actor has a certain look for the role that they're going to play too. I feel. Do you feel that that's something that people look for as well? So, for example, you know, hey, we're looking for FBI agents. An FBI agent's not going to be like the 60-year-old grandpa guy, right? He's going to be like it's going to be somebody like you, right, Jack?
I played one of my first films. I think it was either my first film. It was my second or third film. I actually played a double agent / assistant FBI director. Largely with this look, I had the beard and I had the pompadour, and it worked for that film. So I think it's really kind of in the eye of the producer and or the casting agent that they hire. And I think they share. I think once you hire a casting agent, you leave it up to the casting agent. If there's no casting agents, whatever the producer wants.
We want you to go out and find a. We want you to go out and find a 6'6" muscular bound dude to play a biker, or something like that.
I think audiences like what they, I think there's something to meeting audiences' expectations. It's I think this is why leading men are typically traditionally handsome and leading ladies are beautiful, because that's what people want to see on screen, and anything under that might not be received as well.
Yeah, of course. Real quick, what about sports? Do you get into sports? Are you into watching football, baseball, basketball, anything like that?
I'm very into football. Proud Husky. I went to the University of Washington, so very proud Husky. They've been doing quite well, as you guys know. Proud Seahawk. We've got finally a ice hockey team. We got the Kraken. So I'm definitely into the local sports, particularly football and hockey. But I also really like MMA. I appreciate that physical discipline. I appreciate the ability to outsmart your opponent physically, outman them, outmaneuver them. I've gotten into there's definitely some physicality in some of the roles I've done. So I really appreciate that skill.
Have you been to the boxing gyms and stuff like that to do any kind of grappling and stuff?
Yes.
Perfect.
But you have to be careful. We've been cautioned by certain fight choreographers when things get really heated. They shut things down ASAP, because you can't help when you're on set and you're put into a fight scene and there's multiple people involved. Your adrenaline starts to take over, and all of a sudden, these there's a technique that they teach you on how to make it look real, but a lot of these punches, so they teach you how to make it look real without actually landing. But because the actors are so into their method and they want to sell it, there is contact. Like after I did this film, Clean Right Hook, which was the last film I did for Chris Sanders. This was the UK producer, writer. I took my shirt off in the hotel, after a day of filming, and I was just bruised all over because my scene partner, brilliant guy, kind of took it serious, and he was like, so basically there's contact. You try to sell it. You can't really avoid the contact. You try not to hurt somebody, but but yeah, you get these fight choreographers saying to, calm down, all right, because people can get hurt, especially if weapons are being used.
Sure.
And on Alien Horde, even when we were using stunt guns, there was a practice by the assistant director of just religiously taking the weapon, checking it, even though it has no bullets, it's not real, just going through the motions because you know what happened on the Rust set. Right. So they want to absolutely avoid anything from happening. So there's just such care taken on set to avoid injuries.
Is there any particular actor that you would like to be in a film with?
I would love to be in a film with Hugh Jackman. I would love to be in a film with Ryan Reynolds. I'd love to be in a film with Al Pacino. He's my all-time hero. I aspire to be an actor like him. So I definitely have some film heroes.
You could play a young Al Pacino. You could absolutely pull it off.
Wow. Thank you.
You can do it. You can do it.
I appreciate that, Brian. Well, it's funny you say that because my father is a carbon copy of Al Pacino without without the wild hair, and he's a little bit younger, but he's actually a carbon copy. So if I kind of look like Al Pacino, I think it's because of my dad.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. Yeah, I would do like a monologue for some stuff that he's done in the past or something, and just see, do a side-by-side comparison and just see what you think.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I mean, he's got a certain delivery, where it starts off normal keel and then it becomes explosive. And I've always wanted to do that. I mean, you don't want to mirror somebody, because that's them, that's their trademark. But I want to definitely, try to achieve what he's done in the acting world. Yeah.
Yep. So you're a Seahawks fan. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, it's only because Mark's a Lions fan and I'm a Pittsburgh fan. So I guess there's one in every crowd, right? Is what they say.
That's right.
I mean, it could be worse. I mean, it could be a
Cincinnati fan.
Yeah.
They'll have their moment in the sun again. Just watch.
Hey, I'm just happy my team's doing great this year. Best start in best starts in franchise history. I don't want to hear it.
Congratulations.
I mean, I've been a fan of theirs for 47 years. I'm not, there's no way I'm giving up now, but I still have that, what are they gonna do next?
On the Lions, are you kidding me?
Huh?
Nothing. It was a joke, Mark.
We can't all be the Steelers.
Do you guys have sports figures on this show?
We've had a few wrestlers. Other than that, Snow. Yeah, we've had El Snow on the show.
Okay. El Snow is also an actor now.
Yes,
he is. Yep. He was in a
Unnatural.
Unnatural. Yeah.
He just, I think, recently filmed a movie with John Wells where it was a wrestling.
Yes, they're singing
opera.
Yep, they're singing. Yep. Yes, we got to play. We had the director on the show for that one, and we got to play one of the songs, and it was great.
Who was singing it? Which one?
Al Snow will be singing it. It's what was it? It's the I Miss Head or something like that.
Oh yes,
that's what it was about.
Exactly what it was.
The song was funny, and I know that John Wells does a lot of movies with Whit Whitman, which is awesome. Maybe one day I'll get him on here, but that's one day. But just when he showed us that song, I had to crack up laughing. Just it was awesome.
It's just unique. I love unique. You know, there's so much content out there nowadays. Saturation of content. Everyone is producing. Everyone is has content, and when something unique comes along, you gotta stop and watch.
The only thing that I'm not too thrilled with here, with all the stuff going on nowadays, is when AI does take over on what we're going to see.
In terms of taking the place of actors,
Yeah,
I think that's where Mark's going with it. Yeah,
I think that may happen. I just don't. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been told repeatedly that this is literally the worst time in history to come on board as an actor. But I've also heard reassurances. Oh no, they're not going to get rid of actors. But it's kind of hard to imagine that not being the case with how technology is. And I mean, you can make an actor look younger. You can recreate an actor. You can bring an actor or a performer back from the dead and project them as a 3D image. So it's kind of hard to imagine. And if it wasn't a big deal, why would it have been such a big deal to SAG with AI and not using people's likenesses and whatnot? So it's definitely a concern of mine. More reason to make up for lost time and get as much of this in now as I can. That's kind of how I'm looking at it, because you're kind of getting it from all sides.
I think the only part of AI that should be used, if they're going to use any of it, is to protect the actors when they have to do like these major stunt scenes. Hey, we want you to jump off this building. No, we'll have AI do that. AI can.
And all they need is a picture of the person and a snippet of their voice, and that's all it takes.
Yeah. So
but it's like with this deep fake stuff. If you guys have seen that, I mean, it's just crazy. So
the biggest one that was running around was like the Tom Cruise deep fake deal, and I was like, holy cow.
You can make them say whatever you want in their voice and make them do whatever you want in their, I mean, it almost seems like it's already here.
Yeah, because you could see it on some of these things I watch on TikTok and Facebook and stuff. It's, you get these press conferences with the coaches and they're saying all this off the wall shit that that they don't say in their voices, and it's like, wow.
Yeah,
the shit that they come up with.
That's right. Jack, where can we allow our fans to find you?
Sure.
Instagram.
X, I'm on Instagram is Jack Berner, Facebook Jack Berner, IMDb Jack Berner, also Yevgeny Jack Berner, Yevgeny. IMDb has my filmography and my reel. Amazon has some of my earlier films. Twitter files, and I Want to Jump, and it will soon have Best Supporting Actors. I mean, all these films are eventually coming out, but those are the ones that are currently on those platforms and other platforms. jcfilms.com. For some of my earlier work, and stay tuned. Hopefully coming to a theater near you.
Yeah, hopefully so. How about this? How was this your first podcast? Have you done any other podcasts?
Yeah, I've done podcasts before, but you guys have really good questions, and I appreciate it.
He even had a script wrote out for what he wanted to say. No,
listen, I do my absolute best to take notes. I try to take notes and not go into our show and looking like a fool. I try to do the best I can. I don't like to research because I want to ask all the questions. That's the big thing.
You had really good.
You know what I mean?
Do I come across as this being my first podcast?
No.
No.
We just did a habit of getting a bunch of people that we've had on as their first podcast, and we love it that way too, because it's always fun. Because then when they do the next podcast, you can see the difference on what you get. Like when we first started almost 2 years ago, I would write out questions, then Brian would write out questions, but I'll tell you what. I never asked. I'd ask maybe 3 of the questions. You would ask maybe 3 of the questions. So we stopped doing it. We would look up stuff about them, and that was about it.
You guys, it's a platform for you guys, and we ask a few questions here and there, but you guys are so awesome because you're able to just talk your way through the whole show. But we've had instances where it didn't go like that. We've had instances where you'd ask a question and it was like a yes.
Well, I mean, the whole point of this podcast is for entertainment and for promotion. Absolutely. And I think both sides have to be prepared. I don't think it's just up to you guys. I think it's people in my situation, on my side, they have to be prepared as well. It takes, both sides.
Yeah. When I said that you had a script wrote out, you knew what you were going to, certain things that you were going to say, because, you're not going to always remember everything. No, it's not a script. Yeah, it was just notes. I was just playing around with that one, but it was one of those things that it was like, I knew what you were doing there, because when I have important stuff, which, normally I got a whole book for the past year, and I write down stuff that, movies I want to see, or, something I want to see later on, or even have the person back on after a certain movie is released, because I'd like to know more about it too. Yeah. And you're actually one of the ones that we'd like to have back on in the future, and do it a little bit different.
Sure.
Because we normally play
live show, we get the audience involved. We play Florida or not Florida. We have a great time. That's the big thing. Like I said, we just want to make sure that that you have a great time on the show. I didn't want to ask a whole lot of questions because I feel like it's pressuring the person that's in that chair where you're at right now to answer questions. Let's just have a conversation. That's it.
Well, that's why we're called Talking Shit and not anything else.
Yeah.
Strangely, I think I like questions. I think I'd like to get to the point of being stumped.
We can't stump you. I can't find anything to stump you on.
I think actors, I think they like to showcase themselves. If you're a true actor, I think it's easier for you to. Well, I shouldn't say that. I know really good actors who just don't like talking about themselves. They don't like this format, and they're excellent actors. But there's a lot of Leos, I think, in the acting community. I'm a Leo, so I don't mind talking about myself. I'm happy to answer questions.
Perfect. All right, so we're going to make sure that we can reach back out to you and get you back on the show again in the future. Definitely looking forward to Alien Horde and finding more about your character. Torrent, right?
Torrent, yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to learn more about that character. The film absolutely looks fantastic. So it's not like it doesn't look like a B film. It doesn't look like it's a
low budget. It looks better than that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then the acting is just as good as the effects. I mean, based on what I saw, like everyone brought it, and that's what you want to. That's what you, because that when people bring it, you bring it. It puts pressure on you to do better yourself. So I love collaborative sets like that.
Is there a such thing as overacting?
Yeah, absolutely there is, and you just have to. I mean, I think this is what coaching is for, and this is what learning the craft is. And I've been told repeatedly by folks, it's an ongoing process. You don't just learn it and then you're done. It's ongoing. So I'm all for additional coaching and learning different methods and with different actors and schools of thought. I think you hone your craft. I mean, that's where the expression hone your craft comes from. So I've been learning as I've been doing these films. I've been learning with acting coaching, and I'm able to kind of suspend disbelief in my head now to generate authentic performances. But yeah, there is absolutely something called overacting, and I think the remedy for that is just more coaching, more learning.
Okay. Yeah, overacting. I think you see like people become more hammy. I think is that about right?
Well, it's one thing if you're playing like a smart ass, then maybe it goes with your character. I guess it depends on what the mood is of the scene you're in, or what lines you're delivering. If you're playing a ham, then it's natural. You're playing a smart ass, you're playing a ham. But if it's a serious scene and you're overacting, you just have to. You have to do the work, and the work starts with when you're looking at your lines. Visualize how you can best deliver those lines. Create a backstory for your character, even if your character isn't that meaty. You don't have that big of a part. Create a backstory for your character. Make it real for yourself. The whole point is to entertain an audience, and if you're overacting, you can literally ruin the movie for somebody in the audience. Your sole role can literally ruin the movie, because then the illusion is gone and it's not going to come back, and you just screwed it for someone in the audience. So you got to take it seriously.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe that.
These are great notes for somebody coming into the acting world. Don't overact. Read the line, but have a story, have a backstory, right?
Yeah.
So create that character so that you know how to deliver the line.
Right.
So perfect. Well, Jack, we appreciate your time tonight, sir. We typically have an hour show. We went a little over an hour, and we do appreciate your time in that. One more time before we let you go, if you'll just shout out your socials where you can let our fans and followers find you.
Absolutely. Jack Berner on Instagram, Jack Berner on Facebook. Look me up on IMDb, Jack Berner or Yevgeny Jack Berner. And I'll see you at the movies.
Perfect. Jack, thank you so much for your time, sir. We appreciate you.
It was really nice. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
No problem.
We're going to drop you off screen for just a minute. We'll meet you in the green room.
Yeah, give us a minute.
Sure.
Well, guys, there you have it. Jack Berner from a couple of different movies, guys. Check out these movies that he has upcoming. Vampire Penance. We have Alien Horde. That was the one that we showed you the clip for. That thing looks fantastic. Best Supporting Actors movie is another one. And then I didn't write it down. He talked about
he's got 16 more. He's got 16 movies in post production. So we'll see how we'll see him in the theater.
It's gonna be awesome, man. Awesome.
Yes.
All right. Next Thursday.
Guys. No. Sunday.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sunday, special time on Sunday, 12 o'clock noon. We're going to have Miss Caroline Raven. She's a magician, an MC, and she's from a foreign country. And that's why we're doing the show a little bit different. We're going to do it about noon on Sunday. So tune in and check us out there. Then, okay, can I do it now?
Yes.
Then on Thursday, back to our normal hours, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have Inside the Trojan Horse. The band members will join us, and we'll get to learn more about that band, who they are, and where they come from. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm super stoked about that as well. And then Mark's going to announce something that day for a final season.
We might actually, I can announce it now, but I want them to keep following.
Don't do it. Make them watch.
Yes, make them watch. But it'll be quite. It's special to us. I can't wait.
Guys, don't forget to order your shirts. You can get your shirts at just text us on message us on Facebook, Instagram, X. You can leave an email. I think Mark's built a link tree, so you can go to our link tree.
Yes, I did.
And
it's somewhere.
Mark's going to put it up here.
I'm going to try. There we go.
And you can email us your size and how many you want and your address, and we'll get them out to you.
And we'll tell you how to pay for them too.
Easy enough. Maybe it's the last thing I care about anymore. So
yeah, actually, we're going to be giving I think Sunday or Thursday we're going to give away a couple shirts.
Sounds like a Thursday to me.
So whoever wants a shirt, just put your name in the hat.
On Thursday.
Yep.
Tune in on Thursday.
That
All
works
right.
for me.
You good? You good, Mark?
Yep, I'm good.
Guys, from us here at Talking Shit, my name is Brian.
And I'm Mark. And we're out of here.
We're out of here.